Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Time, and it's time to meet the experts. Today, I'm joined by two badass brothers that are literally killing it in the online marketing, video space, and lighting this world up. They created all the videos and shit behind the Badass Business Summit. I'm just excited to have these guys here. So, Adam, Jeff, welcome to the party, boys. Please introduce yourselves, tell us who the hell you are, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, thanks. So my name's Jeff. This is Adam up here. He'll introduce himself. But we started Love Media Group, and that is our digital marketing company. So we do basically digital marketing, videos, social media content. We also build quite a few websites. And so we're in the agency world about 10 years, and we just sold our previous agency about 6 months ago and just launching into this new effort, Love Media Group. So that's the short answer. Adam?
Yeah, and well, I'm Adam Gerred. I'm kind of the supporting cast, I guess you could say. Mr. Jeff, he's the creator and mastermind behind all the fun stuff that we get to do. But I get to talk to you guys and have a lot of fun. I kind of get the fun stuff because I get to bullshit with all the cool people. So I get to talk to all the clients and kind of manage the projects as they go. So we have a good time with it. We like what we do, and it's a good time.
Yeah, he doesn't let me out in public very much to talk to people. So this is
you got a face for radio.
Stuff in the background, and then Adam's doing all the razzle dazzle on the front line. So yeah. This is fun. I actually get to see the people today.
Yeah, it is. I don't get to talk to Jeff a whole lot because he's usually stuck behind a computer screen doing his wizardry and magic. And guys, if you haven't seen their videos, their shit is off the chain. Go look at anything from Point Blank Safety out there, Stacy and her company, and you'll see that these guys are damn wizards when it comes to videos and all this social content and everything they do. So a little bit about you guys. I know, Jeff, one of the funniest things that I've seen of yours is this damn skateboard thing you ride around town. What the hell is that thing?
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. So it's called a one wheel, and I'm totally addicted. I'm actually one of the top riders in the world. I think number 3 or number 4 by number.
Wait, how do they classify that? I mean, is there a competition?
Oh, no, there's an app. I've got it right here. There's an app, and it actually ranks. Like every time you ride, it logs your miles, and so there's just a leaderboard of everyone in the world.
Oh, so it's just based on mileage, not a skill.
Yes, yeah. No, there's but now the guys like snowboard guys, skateboard.
Yeah, I want to see like half piping on this shit.
They can do any of those cool things that those guys can do, but just out there logging miles. I'm like full blown addicted. So several times a day, I actually. Right before this started, I made a Starbucks run. The Starbucks is about 2 miles from my house. So I ran up there and grabbed a coffee. And then, of course, I was being cocky on the way back, and I was off-roading because this thing has a go-kart tire so you can off-road. And I hit something under the grass, and I went ass over tea kettle, face planted, and my venti iced coffee with extra shots that I use my stars to buy because it's so expensive just went all over the place. And it was a great fail. I looked around, nobody saw it, but it would have been nice if somebody would have shared misery. But yeah,
at least when you screw up like that, you always hope you have like a cheering section or somebody got it on video because at least it could go viral somewhere, right?
Hopefully, on it. It was just a waste, and I just come tell you about it. And, to support my story.
Awesome. Wherever you guys are watching from, type in the chat to let us know where you're watching from, so we can see, people can see how far we reach this thing. And Stacy says she wished she would have had that video for TikTok.
Yeah. It would have been a good one.
And for those that don't know, Stacy McGovern and I had a competition through the month to see who get the most TikTok followers, and she completely kicked my ass.
I think she had that one viral video.
Dude, that viral video almost got 250,000 freaking views, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't have the same effect walking in on my husband naked in the middle of the conference call. So.
Right, no one wants to see that.
Right.
You may.
So guys, right now we're in this kind of crazy world where everybody is being forced to move their businesses online. They're trying to figure out how to do the marketing, the reach outs and everything. So talk to us a little bit about some of the ideas and things that people can be doing in their businesses right now to try and, get their brand, their messaging, their marketing, a little bit of everything they're doing out there right now. What are some of the things that they can be doing?
Well, so I'll go first. I think one of the great things is exactly what they're watching right now, which is live streaming. Everyone's doing it now. As we discussed, all of the streaming platforms are sending their users warnings about, hey, tons of bandwidth is being used right now. Be careful. Just know that there may be outages. But basically, right now, everyone is consuming live video. So just what we're doing right now is a fantastic way just to go live. People get that notification. What's going on here? And you can really just have a really plain conversation, not unlike this one, that people just cue into. And so here in really just the last couple of months, just prior to this, Adam and I have become a little bit of live stream experts with upping our game on, doing, stuff like this, multicam stuff. And I think I just froze up. Nope, I'm back. Yeah. So, all of this, cool stuff like the Badass Business Summit team puts together. That right now is exploding and is a great growth market.
Adam, what do you got?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is what he said. Yep. That's what we did. No. So it's been fun. And so we've kind of, done a lot of the same things, but we've done it in a little bit different direction. Companies right now, with some companies unfortunately having to lay off employees and that sort of thing. We've been lucky to work with some companies that haven't had to do that. Like all of our clients, they're thriving and taking care of their people. And so what they wanted to do was really showcase their people. They're like, now more than ever, our people are our lifeblood, right? We know. Just starting a business and running a business, it's like you got to have people to pick up the places where you're lacking, right? And so, which is for me, is many places, right? So, I need a lot of help picking up the slack. Well, that's no different for every company, right? Everyone needs help in certain directions. And so we've been lucky enough to work with a few clients that they're thriving through this part, and so they really wanted to kind of showcase their employees and say, hey man, these are the people that support us day in, day out, and keep this train on the track. So we've done a lot of work for featuring their employees and just getting the good stuff out there. Man, we're seeing so much gloom and doom, which it rightfully so, I reckon, but for companies that are taking care of their employees, it's good to see the good side of some of this.
Yeah, and it's all great stuff. I get a couple people that are like, I don't know what to say when I go live. I don't know what to do when I go where to go live, and I don't know what kind of content or message out there. I'm constantly telling people, and one of the reasons I love going live is, one, it's talking whatever the fuck I want to talk about, right? It's my platform. So for you guys, take a business owner of some sort that knows they need to go in live and anything else. One, where do they find the confidence to do it? Two, what kind of content specifically should they be putting out at this point?
Yeah, so I started a YouTube channel a couple of years ago, and honestly, my main problem is I'm not real consistent with posting content. But one thing,
everybody else who ever had the dream of launching a YouTube video or channel,
right. And but one thing I do know is you just need reps. As far as like the question about confidence is, you just got to start doing it. Basically, you got to know that in the beginning you're just going to suck. You're going to be terrible. You're going to, anyone who's a content creator will say, oh, I go back and watch my early videos and it's a total cringe fest. I just can't look at it. It's terrible. And so just know that you're not going to be, Johnny or Gary Vaynerchuk or one of these guys. You're just not going to be, an all-star right.
Wait, I just get compared to Gary Vaynerchuk? I'll take that.
Right. 1A, 1B. Yes, sir. But
y'all are in a video together, right? The TikTok.
We did.
Yeah. So
that's right. But you're just not going to be that like comfortable and just like flowing. But once you just start getting some reps in, and it'll snowball. And so you just got to know, basically you got to be okay with sucking for a while, and you've got to be okay with like no one watching and just kind of going out into the abyss. And you just got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable just for a bit, and you just got to stick with it. But that's what I would say as far as the confidence thing.
Adam, what about you, bro?
Yeah, and I'd say being comfortable, being uncomfortable is probably a rule for any part of your business, right?
Right.
It's like when we started this thing, I'm doing things that I never thought I would be doing. I've never done business taxes, and I've never done, filed for K1. Like all this is kind of new to me. So yeah, kind of being uncomfortable, being uncomfortable is kind of part of the fun, I guess. But yeah, just getting yourself out there and doing it. I mean, if anyone can attest to like sucking on camera, it would be me for sure. And so I take some of my own experiences with some of this stuff and kind of use it. For example, when we're shooting these videos, now you wouldn't let us write your script because you're an all natural champion. So for the badass business, like I write the scripts and say what I say what I wrote. But you're like, no, sir, I'm saying what I want to say. So like, okay, cool.
Wait a minute. We did write one script for Donnie, and that was for the hopscotch.
Oh, we did. It took me 3 tries to nail it too.
Right. The fun part of that is we had a quote in there from Ron Burgundy from Anchorman, and we thought, we sent the script out a day in advance. All the different on-screen talent all chimed in. Oh, this looks great. We never heard from Donnie, and then the day of, we're like, hey, did you get the script? He was like, yeah, man.
Fucking hate Ron Burgundy.
I'm like, who hates Will Ferrell? Oh man, it was great because when he delivered the line, he did it in his own way. He made it his own, and it actually worked out. And he didn't try to do an impersonation of Will Ferrell. He said it like straight, and that actually made it a lot better. So total props to Johnny.
It was a really, really cool experience. I'd never been in anything. And Randy says, can Donnie even read? That's probably part of the problem.
We have blooper outtakes that may air to be the case.
Hey, I was this close to putting together a blooper reel for this.
Well, I'll do a blooper reel. I will totally post that shit everywhere.
Okay, all right, I'll put it together.
It's just one of those things that I've never been a rule follower ever in my life, and so
shocking.
When somebody puts something up there like, hey, you're gonna read this, I'm like, fuck, I am gonna so screw that up because then you just immediately put me in some sort of box. If you say get this done, I'm just that type of person, but not everybody is that way. That's just how I'm built, and I know that's just one of my strengths and one of my assets out there. So there are a lot of people who are like me that can, go quick off the cuff, and are on any second they need to be. He can read. I saw him read the Redfish, Bluefish once. That was yeah. Stacy said, well, I killed it. Yeah, she did it freaking one take and just knocked it out. So we know with Stacy just put a hardcore deadline in her ass. It said, I joined late. Brothers, I guess. Who can win in arm wrestling? That is really a question that just.
Ooh.
So, dude, I wish you guys were close because we would.
We'll go live next. Social distance. We had a social. We were gonna go be at the same studio. Obviously, that changed, but.
Well, so I'm the oldest. So there are 5 of us. There are 5 of us in our family, but we're the 2 oldest. I'm the oldest. Adam's next, and so growing up. You're always able to beat up all your little brothers, which is fun until we started playing golf. And of my dad and my 4 brothers, the 4 of us, I'm by far the worst. So I was able to beat these guys at every sport. But now Adam's actually the best golfer in the group, and I am by far the worst. I'm like not even in the same league as these guys.
Oh, good, Jeff. We'll go watch everybody golf, and you and I sit back and drink, and then we'll just. Yeah.
Hey, drinking is part of golf. They go hand in hand. You can't.
No. I like doing it. I like going, but I'm just so terrible. I'm like trying to break 100, and these guys are basically scratch golfers. So
well, and you don't even need a golf cart. You just ride your little skateboard wheelie thing, and take that everywhere. That would actually be a lot cooler game.
I've actually done that.
We'll turn it into polo.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get off the board.
Okay. Yeah.
The level.
Yeah, right. That's a whole new sport. Whole new sport.
I broke this elbow on that one wheel. It's a dangerous machine.
Yeah,
I'm
I
mess with
have.
it.
I nice little road rash.
Yeah, yeah.
I got all kinds of scarring.
You know, I would actually give that thing a go. I just know that I would kill myself.
Mhm.
So
It's possible. It's not likely, but it is possible.
yeah. So James on here says that doing videos is out of my comfort zone. I prefer a live audience, and a lot of us do. So what would you say to someone who's constantly speaking in front of or used to speaking in live audiences and now they got to speak on screen? What would you recommend?
Yeah. So that's a really good point. And we were talking earlier about working either off a teleprompter or a script or just like winging it. And so like for people like me, I'm actually really comfortable just throwing the camera on, just blabbing. Obviously, Donnie, and some people are just real natural in that format. But if they have to like right now we're just riffing, but if they have to like deliver something specific, the light comes on, they're looking down that barrel of that lens, and all of a sudden people just flip out. Just having done this for years, there's no exceptions. People just really get weird about it. And so what we found is honestly just write something out. If you have to deliver a video in that format, write something out and literally, teleprompter. There are teleprompter apps for free on iPhone, Android, and iPad. Personally, we use an iPad. We load up the thing, we put it right underneath the lens, and it just scrolls through and you just read it. And that will help you feel a lot more confident when you're just like literally reading something versus like trying to come up with something off the cuff. So that's one way. But if you are more comfortable in the live environment, just go live and put that content up, because the thing about going live versus making a video is when you make a video, you feel like every syllable, every beat, everything you say has to be perfect and right on. Well, versus when you're going live and you're just riffing and, there can be some dead silence. There can be, a little stutters and uhs and those type of things. So either go live or write yourself a script. That's my advice from just having seen a people try this.
Yeah, and I'd say one thing on that as well. It depends on what kind of video you're trying to create. But if you're just trying to riff and it's going to be a 2 or 3 minute video, one thing that we try to teach people to do is have an on ramp and have an off ramp. Know how you're going to come into the video, then you can start riffing as long as you want. But you need to have an off ramp so that you can know when to stop yourself.
Yeah, very good point. Because people will ramble, like they don't know how to stop. So they're like, and they don't know when to like bring the train to a complete stop. So they'll just ramble on and on, kind of like I'm doing right now.
Right. Well, another question that says, my issue comes from having the interaction when they're in front of a stage. You got the interaction from the people, the crowd, and they're worried that going live, they don't get that same interaction. I have a response to that, but I'm curious what you guys would say about getting that feedback from the lives.
Yeah. So one, you have the chat, and you can be answering the chat. So ask open-ended questions and, like polls, would you, Coke or Pepsi type questions that people can just chime in on, and use the feedback of the chat like you would use the feedback of someone, with eye contact, and, you can kind of see their body language. That's going to have to substitute for that, because when you are presenting live, you can see if the crowd's with you or not quite with you. Whereas in this format, you're not looking at them, face to face. And so you don't really know how your message is being received, but you can, that chat can kind of replace, that body language assessment, in this format.
Yeah, one thing you can do also is just put your entire family on the other side of the screen and just have them cheering for you. Like I do right now. I got Harper and Callan and Kristen over here, and they have to cheer for me because
live studio audience.
Right.
Set up your own.
Yeah, and I'll add in there one of the things that is doing live interviews. So it doesn't have to be just your content. So like right now, I'm a guy that feeds off a crowd as well, and I love the interaction. But when you're having a conversation like this, it's very easy to keep dialogue going, and you're going to hit very few lulls because somebody's always got something to say. There's always some sort of input. But I always would say, have some loaded questions out there that require feedback. If this was more of a webinar type setup, I would have constantly say, things like, hey, put a 1 if that makes sense to you. right? You always start off, where the heck are you from? Get people to have a reason and get comfortable with responding, because people got to realize that people aren't always comfortable putting comments out there. This one says, I don't like my face out there very often. My response, really quick, just because I know who asked it, is get the fuck over it.
Yes.
In the game.
Okay. I'll point to my favorite YouTuber of all time. His name's Casey Neistat. If you don't know him, check him out. He doesn't publish a lot of stuff anymore, but he is not the best looking guy. Matter of fact, he wears sunglasses all the time just because he doesn't like the way he looks. But he's also one of the most successful YouTubers of all time because of just what you said. He just got over it and just said, okay, well, hey, I'm no George Clooney, but I can make content and I have a personality and people connected with it. So it's not all about being pretty all the time. You just gotta go with what God gave you, and bring your personality, because that's what people are really. They want to know. I mean, if you're watching a movie, you want the stars to look nice. But when you're on the internet, I mean, you'll watch an ugly guy or gal if they are entertaining or informative. It's not all about just being pretty. So, in our culture, obviously, we highly value looks, but you've got to get past it. You got to get over it. I don't know what else to tell you. Either that, or it's a really, really large plastic surgery bill. So that's probably impractical.
And I've got some fun comments like, well, Donnie's not pretty either. Thank God Donnie's has his personality. So thank you for all of that. So, but bottom line is, and Randy says it, is just get in the game. Don't wait for it to be perfect, and don't worry about it. And my philosophy is when people start saying this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen, or you're dumb, this is horrible, I can't believe you're doing this, you're winning.
Yes.
Celebrate that shit.
Yes.
Because you got beyond mom and dad and the family cheering you on, there's actually other people finding your content out there.
Absolutely. The first time I published a YouTube video and it got a thumbs down, I was like so excited that I had a reaction from someone, and they took the time to watch my video and decide they didn't like it. And, I love that stuff. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah. So haters are going to hate.
Yeah, always. And when the haters show up, it's a win. It is 100% a win. So what type of content should people be putting out? I mean, there's so many things that people can be doing. What kind of content should they be putting out right now?
Well, so that's a fantastic question. And Adam,
you're welcome. I got my whole sheet of questions over here.
So. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one because, okay, so that is always a question. So Adam hit on it a moment ago about, especially in this COVID-19, part of history that we're in right now, people are connecting with things besides just your product, right? So if you're out there and you have a business going, a side hustle is, you have your product or your service that you're selling, and then you have, the people behind that. So we always say people, process, and product. So there's the process of doing what you're doing. So some people may want to know, oh, how do you do that? And as you as an expert can, give people that information. Again, not unlike what we're doing here. There's the product, right? That's what people always think about, right? The product. Oh, I sell this, buy more of my widget, and throw it in people's faces. And obviously you want to put your product out there. You want to show people what you do and what you offer. So that's really good. But your whole feed can't just be buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. You also have to give people a reason to follow you or be interested in, the video you're making. And that's where the process comes in. And then what Adam talked about earlier is the people, right? Because it's not just robots in the background, probably, doing all this stuff. There's a human behind the scenes that's making all this stuff go. And that's where we've seen a lot of people queuing into, seeing a face, right? So if you have a thumbnail, don't just put your widget there, put a face in it, right? People connect with that. People will stop on that more. All the studies are in, thumbnails with faces get more views than, a thumbnail with just a little gadget, right? So, feature the people, let people hear their stories, and people will connect with that. So when, the question is what kind of content, it's people, process, product. I would put it in that order, and people usually flip that order, and it's product, process, and then people last. So just maybe of those three things, maybe flip that order and do more of the people.
Yeah, no, I love that. What about behind the scenes stuff? Because I know, at least for our company, is anytime we open up the curtain a little bit and kind of do the Wizard of Oz thing, we get a lot bigger spike. What about you guys? Behind the scenes stuff, is it valuable? Is it important?
Yeah. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, I think for us personally, I think a lot of stuff, we put out a lot of our finished content, but as far as us as a company making our own content, it typically is behind the scenes stuff. So it just kind of gives you a behind the scenes look at just kind of how all this operates. So for us, behind the scenes stuff is the majority of what we actually majority of the content that we actually put out there. But we wanted to actually bring a blooper reel, like we mentioned earlier, of Donnie kind of doing his thing on the Badass Business Summit and that kind of stuff. It's just fun, right? So so the video, it turned out great, and it's like very watchable, and it's really intense. And if you're thinking of a Badass Business Summit, it hits the mark, right? But what happened during the shoot, and what are those kind of fun things? So people like when you open up the curtain. I think it's just more relatable. Like, people are not perfect all the time, but
so we actually, this is a good example of that. We actually had a client we were shooting, and they're in the financial space, financial advisors. And so their motto is wealth. They're talking about taking care of yourself and being healthy, right? Because if you don't have health, you can be rich, and what's the worth, right? So their motto is, wealth without health is worthless, right?
Meaningless.
Guy, again, he wasn't going off a teleprompter. He was just riffing, and he accidentally said, "Health without wealth is worthless."
Which is kind of true.
I didn't know. I like it. I like where his head's at.
But if you're a financial advisor, you can't just say that.
And then he was like, and he had this look on his face like, "Oh, wait, no!" And then of course, everyone behind the camera started cracking up, and you could just hear the laughter fill the room. And that was the best part of the whole video, was that outtake of him just reversing that order. And it was just absolutely hysterical. So we actually made a GIF of him saying that. And, that has the big response than the actual, real serious talk, So people do.
I love it. I think anytime you can show your human side, it just wins in social media as a whole, because people are done with the fake false fronts, your Instagram millionaires, the fake cars, fake house, all that kind of stuff. So open up the curtain, being you, let people see, your world, what you're into, allows people to connect, trust what you're doing a hell of a lot better than most. Stacy says, and be consistent out there. How often should somebody be posting content and that kind of stuff in the marketplace, especially now with so many more people consuming content? Is this a daily thing they should be doing? Is it, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so it depends on your platform and your format, but I mean, daily is really good, especially, like on a Facebook. You may not be able to go live every day.
So Donald Dotson said, even if they're creepy looking, that was the top hat guy.
Actually, people love it. I've been told they get the highest response if you wear a super weird hat. Really out there, But hey, that's the thing. You got your thing and you lean into it, and it is what it is. So, all right. Well, much love, and I'm gonna have a beer with that guy. And
yes,
yeah.
Be awesome.
That's a way inside joke. No, only us and that guy knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. So we'll tell it on another live, but that was funny as hell. The one reason I support that Craig Valentine says about highlighting first failures and frustrations. So I found for me that, telling my story and like how I built the business and everything else, and walking people through the fuck ups, the failures, the screw ups and everything else, is done really, really well to gain, bigger and stronger fans with everything that I'm doing. How much of people's personal life type stuff should they put out there versus their business type stuff? That's my real question. That's a tough question to answer.
No, that is a really good question. And for that, honestly, and I don't want to cop out, but that's to each their own on that. Some people, they really want to have their kids in every shot and their, all the personal things they do. And some people, because honestly, you have to, they say when you're writing a script or something, write what you know, right? It's, when you're publishing content, make the content that's relevant to you. So if that's, that's your life, and that's, the shareable stuff you have, and you're okay with that, there's nothing wrong with that. But some people, rather go a complete opposite. Like you'll never see my house, you'll never see my kids, you'll never see any of that stuff. So I don't know how to tell people what to do. That they've got to make that decision for themselves, really.
Adam?
Yeah, and so we just took over a social media account, and they're a rather large company. As far as like putting out content, the previous social media company, they were putting out 2 to 3 posts, closer to 2 posts a day on building products. And all of a sudden they started noticing their social media followers started dropping, because you can only put that out in front of somebody so much before it's like, okay, I've seen this, stop pushing this on me all the time. So really, so we work with companies from mom and pa heating and AC companies to $1.5 billion companies. I mean, we work with a range of different people, and it really just matters what the product is, or the people are, or the process is. And so really you want to talk to somebody, whether it's us or whether it's somebody else. Just this goes back to the whole thing is like, know your skill set and hire whatever you're lacking in, and or get advice, right? Don't be scared to ask. And so so it just depends. It depends on what your field is. I mean, if it's whatever, some widget, like he said, and you can only tell people about that single widget so many times before it's like, okay, dude, I've heard it. I got it. All right. So it depends. It depends on the.
Well, for me, I follow the Gary V model on this one 100%. Like, you'll never hear me dropping my wife's name. I don't bring in, a lot of the family. I don't take people to the farm a whole lot. And they'll see things time to time, but, I'm happy to show damn near everything out there. But, I'm always worried that, the bigger my brand goes, the more of a threat it comes to the family, as they get exposure. So like Randy's saying, show it all. And I'm just not that guy. I mean, with it out there, I'm very choosy about what I put out there, and I'm out there more than most people are. I'm just going to protect it. But I would challenge most people, if you ask what Gary V's wife's name is, they have no idea. They don't know how many kids he's got, just 2. Only because he said it in one video, so it's each to their own.
Yeah. On the other hand, I don't know if you know Grant Cardone. He's another big sales rah guy, and he puts his family in all kinds of stuff. He's always showing his kids, and so there's a yin and yang to that. Or there's just 2 ways to look at it. It's each person has to make that decision based on what their comfort level is.
I will tell people though that if your ordinary life is not ordinary for everybody. And I found out the first time I brought goats on a video, just because I own a freaking farm, and brought the goats out, and everybody went nuts and wanted to see more of the goats. And I'm like, well, shit, now I got to bring them to the farm more often. So part of it is testing it out. No advertising here. I gain about 15 a week from attrition rate of 2 to 3 audiences. Growing sales are not anywhere near the same rate of growth. I don't understand. Are you asking a question, Adam? Give me a little bit more detail on that, bud. So if somebody has a product out there that they're trying to market, it's not a service, it's 100% a product. Like in Adam's case, he does shave gels and shave soaps and those type of things. There's only so much content, like you were talking about, Adam, that you can put out there around it. He's got a very military veteran brand, with his stuff. What other type of content can they put out there that isn't the same old? Glenn, what's up, buddy?
So I'm really glad you asked that question. So I've been kind of waiting to get this in here, but so we call our company Love Media Group. And the reason that we do that is we are a mission driven, company. And basically what our mission is to work exclusively with brands. We call them brands who care, or, brands that have some kind of give back program. And obviously cause marketing is like completely just taken off right now. Everybody is like giving back to some cause, or they kind of identify something that's like special to them. And they want, for everything that we sell, X% goes to this effort, or, whatever that is. The Tom Shoes model is like one of the more famous ones. You buy a shoe and then we give it a pair to, a kid in need somewhere in the world. So those type of models, even if it's not that extreme, people really connect with that because it's not just the what, but it's the why. So you probably heard that before. People don't just care about your shave products and whether or not it's going to, leave my skin feeling great or how well it works, which they obviously want that, to work. But also, if in addition to that, if I know that every time I buy your shaving cream, something good is going to happen somewhere else in the world, now I can connect with that brand. I can become part of your tribe. I can kind of buy into what you're doing more than just like, okay, well, Gillette and everybody else and, Harry's and all these companies, they all make the same thing you make. Why would I buy yours versus buying theirs? So you can build a better mousetrap, or you can, be doing good in the world and people will connect with that. So at Love Media Group, we are making we made a commitment in the beginning of this to only work with organizations and companies that have that heart to do something somewhere, for good with their profits that they're making. And the other thing that's good about that, and to brag on us for a little bit, is we take 10% of our time. For every 9 hours we bill, we work 1 hour off the clock for a local nonprofit that's doing good things that can't afford to have an agency work on their stuff. So that's just something we said at the beginning is, hey, we're going to put our time and our money where our mouth is, and we're going to actually do this ourselves and volunteer and help these other brands to succeed where they couldn't afford it. And we're going to work with brands who have some kind of heart to do that. So that's a long-winded way of saying that putting out content around, identify the thing that's important to you. So whether it's saving puppies or trees or fish or homeless or battered women, or, you can go all the way down the list. There's a lot of great causes to help. Whatever the cause that you personally connect with, lean into that and make that part of your brand and part of your brand story. And now people can connect with you on another level, and you change the story about what you have to talk about. So instead of talking about, in this example, shaving cream, now you're also talking about doing good in the world. And now you really open up the conversation quite a bit.
Well, and I think that's cool because then you can totally start talking more about the nonprofit you're helping out, highlighting them, their story, and that just doubles up on your content. So I really, really like that. Couple of guys are working on beard products as well in there. Adam, anything to add to that?
No, it's right on. I mean, that's kind of a method we've had at our previous agency that we've carried on. That was kind of just something we did, but we really wanted to move it to the forefront when we started Love Media Group. And really, I just wanted to give a shout out to one of our favorite nonprofits, the BlueFamilyFund.org.
I was wondering if that was coming.
It's coming. You know it, Stacy. It's coming. So if you guys haven't visited the site that we built for Blue Family Fund, BlueFamilyFund.org, go check them out. It's an awesome organization.
Yeah. So tell them what Blue Family Fund is. What do they do?
Yeah. So Blue Family Fund supports first responders, which right now, good Lord, they need all the support they can get, right? And so the organization, Stacey, I don't want to mess this up, but basically it kind of started because Stacey McGovern was had a company called or has a company called Point Blank Safety. And
no pressure at all, Adam. No pressure.
I know, right? Sorry, Stacey. I'm trying to get okay. So this badass, yes, Stacey McGovern, absolute rock star. I've known her for many, many years. Started Point Blank Safety, which is giving off-duty police officers some additional income. Well, you can go check out her story. We also built her a site, StaceyMcGovern.com, and go check her out. Her whole story's in there. She's a rock star. But the Blue Family Fund became, because Stacey had done so well and Michael. I don't want to shout out to Michael as well. As Stacey and Michael had done so well, they decided to start a nonprofit called the Blue Family Fund. And Blue Family Fund provides fallen officers or first responders 100% of the donations that go to Blue Family Fund. This is like super important. 100% of that goes to families of fallen officers or the dependents of fallen officers through scholarships and that sort of thing. So she's doing absolute amazing work. I can't tell the story as well as the website or she can. So you'll want to jump on there, follow her on all her social platforms. She's a rock star. So she's she's been a big supporter of us for over 9 years. We've been working with Stacy, so she's awesome.
Yeah, so she is amazing, amazing, amazing. So Randy says on here, causes matter, but they're not the main thing. The product has to be good. Everyone has a cause, but it's not everything. No, I completely agree with that statement. The product has to be badass first. But I do know there's some shitty products in the marketplace that have a badass cause tied to them that are kicking ass and taking names. I'm not going to throw a brand into the bridge, but
Oh, right. But not every brand has a cause. I mean, that's kind of a throwaway statement, but that's absolutely not true. So you can, be unique. And honestly, I mean, why not do it? I mean, this is America, right? You can be successful and, have nice things, and also give back to something worthy.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even once upon a time, we started a networking group that we picked up donations every time somebody gave somebody a referral. We pooled all that money together and gave it once a quarter to a different nonprofit. So it was a cool way to say thanks for the referrals coming through and donating that money. Stacy says it is pay it forward. Chris Campbell says, I feel like I know these three. So
yes, indeed we do.
Yes. Matter of fact, just made some updates on Chris's website in the last couple of days.
No badass. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's great. And I'll tell you what, I'll brag on that company a little bit. So Chris Campbell is the founder and CEO, or whatever his title is, of Polarity Networks, and they do really, really great work with infrastructure and structured cabling.
Yeah, they do, but that's not the coolest thing he does.
Horses.
The horses all
yes.
Word is fucking killer.
Yes.
Yeah,
so we have a studio right next to Chimmy's, Chimmy's in Fort Worth.
A couple guys on horses. One of them was probably Chris. Yeah. Which also, Chris, you still owe my daughter a horse ride.
Getting called out on a live.
That's right. I'm calling them out on the stream here. But those guys do awesome work. And I actually, this is a little story, this is why Chris says he knows me, is I was actually, with that company in the very beginning when they started. And so their logo, branding, website, and stuff like that, videos and stuff, I created for them years ago. Now they've gone on to just be massive successes. And so I always feel a little proud just to be a small part of their early success. And so those guys are killing it.
Right. Man, Fort Worth is such a small damn town, I tell you. It is the smallest big town in the world. Hi, honey.
All right.
This is real life.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Dude, that is going to become the next.
What were we saying about showing family?
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's Harper.
Have you guys seen the Zoom blooper videos yet?
Yes.
The girl taking a piss. And then the latest one is the gal's on a live Zoom. Her husband walks out in nothing but a jersey and underwear. And she's like trying to wait. He turns the wrong way and slams into a wall.
Oh, hell yeah. I love it. Well, now we'll enter ourselves into that.
Yep. Yes. So we're going to make you famous, Adam.
Yeah, all right. Well, there, or Harper, yeah.
Too awesome. And Stacy says, oh, Harper wants to be famous.
Well,
too funny. So with all of this stuff and everything you guys are doing, I mean, you guys seriously put out some of the most badass videos I've ever seen. My most viral thing that ever happened to me on LinkedIn was, there she goes again, the most viral thing that I've ever had on LinkedIn was your guys' videos. I mean, that thing got viewed almost 5,000 times, got a couple hundred comments on it. It was insane the impact that video had. How do people reach out to you? How do they find you guys? What's the best way to get in touch with you if they're looking just for some badass videos, some social media love, that kind of things? How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so we're on all the platforms, and we're on the big four, mainly, YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I will personally fall on the sword a little bit here. We were a few months into this process, and we still don't have our website launched.
Oh, Lord have mercy. How does a freaking social media website type company not have a website? I get it. So Jeff's one of those guys. He's so over the top creative that if you want something done tomorrow, you tell them that it's due today.
It was last week.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's really bad. It's like the shoe cobbler's children, that no shoes, it's like your own home base is always the worst. You guys know, I don't know if you got, this little peek behind the curtain here is we've actually had this website about 93% done for about 3 months. So it's like waiting to launch. We're going to get it launched out here in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be fantastic and amazing.
So for the world, we're going to hold us accountable. He just said by next Friday that website's launched.
Ooh, okay.
You just made that promise to the world. So next Friday.
Okay. All right, here we go. Live right now on Success Champions next Friday. Adam, can we do that?
Yep.
Next Friday.
Yes, we can.
Group, we're announcing it right now. You know what? Sometimes you just got to put a false deadline in and just make it happen.
Stacy said they're too busy with her stuff. That's funny.
Love Media.
What's the handles on a social?
Yeah, at Love Media Group on all the major platforms, and the website. We tricked it up a little bit. It's not .com. It's lovemedia.group. So not .group.com. It's just .group. So
hold on. There you go.
Love Media. Yep, there we are.
All right. All right. Groovy. So it's out just so they can find you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I try and get as many. I mean, we've had the highest we hit almost 54 followers watching this live at one point on the different platforms. So it's pretty cool. So before we get out of here, you guys, Stacy's putting your things out there, and she had to change it up to lovemedia.group. So on that. So words of wisdom for everybody right now. So one of the reasons I'm going live so much is I truly believe it's my mission. It's a guy like me that goes live, puts out a ton of content. I think it's part of my mission to just get this negative shit out of the way. Let's put some positive energy in the air. Let's shake it up and help people get out of this fucking funk that this entire world's trying to get into. So how do you show these guys some love? Is there favorite quotes? Is there favorite, things that you guys do? What's a good vibe or message you guys could put out there for all of our listeners and everybody who's watching right now? No pressure.
Yeah. No, that's a tough one. I'm very much, the sky's not falling. We're gonna get through this thing. I'm like the worst person to talk to because I never get worked up about any thing that comes up. I'm always like, it's no big deal. So I'm like, it's no big deal guy, which I know is probably like poison for the internet. Everybody thinks I'm irresponsible and stuff. I'm doing all the steps and I'm staying away from people, and I'm playing by the rules for sure. But I'm also rolling my eyes just a little bit when no one's looking. So as far as positivity, I would just say, hey, at the end of the day, we're going to get past this, whether or not it's in 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, whatever it is. And where do you want to be? Do you want to completely withdraw and put your head in the sand, or do you want to, like Donnie's saying, is make hay while the sun's shining? Everyone is at home. Everyone is in front of their screens. Everyone's on their devices. So right now is the perfect, most amazing, stars aligning time to put out content. Now's the time to make it happen.
Adam?
I've been working from home for a while. We've got an office, obviously, but I do a lot of working from home. And so, and at a previous job, I worked from home quite a bit. And so as far as like, people being locked in these four walls, it's tough, right? It's tough to sometimes get motivated. I mean, we're all human beings, right? And just from my side, for me, every day, we have a really fun job. So it's really exciting to get to do this like every freaking day. So it's not super, super hard for us to get excited. But I just, every day I put some shoes on, And so it's like, I put some freaking pants on, I put some shoes on. Because I know if I got some shoes on, then I ain't going to put them on the couch, and I ain't going to put them in, or Kristen won't let me put them in the bed. So it's like, I just put my shoes on.
I'm not even wearing pants right now, so.
Well, that's pretty common from what I understand. But man, just put some shoes on. Get up. I crank the windows open, jump in the office, I got my shoes on, and I'm ready to play. So it's just keep it rolling, man, because this is going to end, and it's those people that are busting their ass getting it done that are going to thrive once this thing is kind of blown over. So, man, guys, just stay confident, stay strong. But it's been fun. Thanks for having us, Donnie. This is awesome.
Jeff, you had one more thing?
No, I was going to say, stay badass.
There you go.
So, guys, one last thing before we get out of here. We have launched, I almost cut off your entire head there, Jeff. Holy hell. Right? So, we've launched virtual networking groups. We're launching in 12 cities across the U.S. right now: New York, L.A., San Diego, Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston, Minneapolis, Bethesda, Maryland, Port Orange, Florida. We have networking groups that are launching everywhere. We're in discussions Friday to launch one in the UK. So these things are really growing and going. So if you're looking to ways to continually connect, get your business growing, get your name, get your brand out there, build a team of people that are growing and scaling their businesses and helping each other out. Stacey McGovern runs Fort Worth One, the very first group we ever did. It's also our largest chapter right now. Adam's in that group, Jeff's in their backup. So if you guys are looking for a badass way to grow your business, we have chapters launching everywhere. The newest chapter going will be Arlington, Texas. That starts April 7th. Then the New York chapter will be the next one after that. So these things are going very, very, very quickly. So get in, be a part of it, grow your business, and get around other people. And Dotson says, "Yep, I get dressed for work every day," and that's what I'm telling you guys. Show up, get in the game. And Adam, you said it perfectly. The people that are putting in the hard work right now and are not slowing down but speeding up at this moment are the ones going to come out this thing smelling like roses, because they're doing everything they need to do to keep their business going. So guys, I totally appreciate you being on here. You're freaking badasses. I love your work. I love everything you guys do.
Thank you.
You guys are seriously fucking talented, and I truly, truly love the skill set and the passion you guys put into your work. So thank you for everything you've done for the Badass Business Summit. Badass Business Summit, guys, is coming in September to the Hearst Convention Center. Check out badassbusinesssummit.com for more details. September 25th through the 27th. Get your asses there and let's have some fun learning how to do some really cool social media business development and all kinds of other stuff. Boys, I appreciate you. Everybody, y'all keep being badasses, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.